Welcome, everyone. Today, we are analyzing a fascinating real-world cybersecurity event, the Anthropic Capybara leak. We'll explore the technical mechanics of the CMS error that exposed highly sensitive AI research. Let's get started. Let's begin by defining the event. In late March 2026, the AI community was stunned when details of Anthropic's most powerful, unreleased model, Claude Mythos internally codenamed Capybara, were inadvertently leaked. This wasn't a sophisticated hack by a nation-state. Instead, a massive data cache containing nearly 3,000 unpublished assets was left openly exposed to the internet. These files weren't just marketing drafts, they contained highly sensitive information, including plans for an exclusive European CEO summit and even private employee parental leave documents. This incident highlights a critical lesson: even the most advanced tech companies can fall victim to basic operational oversights. In this training, we will dissect exactly how this happened. This simple flowchart maps the impact of the leak. Starting with the event itself, we branch out to the core consequence. Over 3,000 unpublished assets were exposed. We can see the specific types of data compromised, from the Capybara model details to private corporate events and employee data. Why did this massive exposure occur? The root cause points directly to a misconfiguration in the content management system, or CMS, that Anthropic uses to publish its public-facing blog. Security often breaks down at the configuration level. In this case, digital assets created or uploaded using the CMS software were set to be public by default. This means that the moment an employee uploaded a draft image, a PDF, or an audio file, the system automatically generated and assigned it a publicly accessible URL. There were no guardrails enforcing authentication to view these specific links, illustrating exactly why default permissions are a critical attack vector. Let's trace the upload workflow. When an employee uploads an asset, the CMS evaluates its default policy. Because the system defaulted to public, it immediately generated an accessible URL, leading straight to internet exposure. The secure path, requiring an explicit private toggle, was bypassed entirely by default. Understanding how the configuration failed requires looking at the human-computer interaction. The CMS was designed so that keeping an asset private required users to explicitly change a setting during the upload process. If a user forgot to toggle this specific setting, the file was pushed to the public web. Anthropic officially acknowledged this in their statement, attributing the exposure to human error within their external CMS tools. Because this oversight happened repeatedly over time, an entire unsecured, publicly searchable data store, essentially an exposed data lake, accumulated quietly in the background. It's a classic example of why security should be opt-out, not opt-in. This state diagram breaks down the user action. The critical junction is where the user must remember to toggle privacy. Human error leads down the red path, funneling files into a public data lake. This perfectly illustrates how a series of small, individual human errors aggregate into a massive organizational vulnerability. When was this discovered, and by whom? The leak remained undetected internally until late March 2026. It wasn't found by malicious hackers, but rather by independent cybersecurity researchers, Roy Paz from Layer X Security and Alexander Powells from the University of Cambridge. They didn't need to break through firewalls, they simply located the unsecured cache on the open web. Inside, they found highly structured data designed for web pages, complete with upcoming publication dates, headings, and detailed product launch strategies. This underscores a vital point: obscurity is not security. If it's on the public internet, researchers or attackers will eventually find it. Here is the discovery sequence. Researchers scan the public internet, which blindly routes them to the exposed CMS data cache. The cache freely returns over 3,000 files without authentication. The sequence concludes with the researchers responsibly disclosing this vulnerability to the media and the company. Let's deep dive into the technical layer. While Anthropic didn't name the specific CMS, this issue is synonymous with cloud storage bucket misconfigurations, like AWS S3 or Azure blobs. By default, many older systems or integrations used access control lists, or ACLs, to make individual objects public. Look at the sample code on the slide. If a CMS integration has block public ACLs set to false, the software can programmatically say, make this specific image public. To prevent the Capybara leak, the architectural fix is to enforce block public access at the bucket level, overriding any software level or human errors. This strips the CMS of its ability to expose files by default. This diagram shows the cloud architecture control flow. If block public access is false, the storage bucket trusts the CMS's object-level ACLs, allowing files to go public. If true, the infrastructure overrides the CMS entirely, enforcing a secure, private-only boundary regardless of user error. Let's look at a critical real-time use case, Cloud Security Posture Management, or CSPM. Imagine you manage an enterprise CMS where marketing teams upload thousands of assets weekly. Relying on them to check a private box is a guaranteed path to a data breach. Instead, you deploy automated CSPM tools. These tools continuously scan your cloud environment in real time. If an API call attempts to change a storage bucket's policy to public, or if an asset is flagged with a public URL without prior authorization, an automated Lambda function immediately reverts the permission back to private and alerts the security team. This shifts security from manual compliance to automated enforcement. Observe the CSPM automation loop. The CMS upload creates a public URL. In near real time, the CSPM scanner detects this anomaly and triggers an auto-remediation script. The script instantly revokes the public access and sends an alert to security operations, closing the exposure window in seconds. How did the incident response play out? Once notified by journalists on a Thursday, Anthropic security team initiated immediate incident response. Their mitigation strategy was swift and decisive. They completely removed the public's ability to search the data store and disabled the retrieval of documents from those URLs. They openly acknowledged the CMS tools, misconfiguration, and secured all early drafts and internal documents. This rapid containment is a textbook example of good incident response, but it also highlights that reactive measures only happen after the data is already in the hands of third parties. This state diagram maps the incident response timeline. We move from the active vulnerability stage to media notification. This triggers immediate incident response, transitioning directly into the final state where public access, search, and document retrieval are entirely revoked. To conclude, the Capybara leak teaches us vital lessons. First, always enforce the principle of least privilege. Systems must default to private, not public. Second, apply zero trust to your assets. Never assume an off-the-shelf CMS is securely configured. Finally, continuous automated auditing is non-negotiable. I hope this deep dive into the Anthropic CMS leak expanded your practical security knowledge. I invite learners to like, subscribe, and visit quicktechie.com for premium certification prep, including Q&A banks, full ebooks, audiobooks, full-length training, and interview guides. Our final diagram reinforces the core lessons. A strong security posture branches into defaulting to private, implementing zero trust, and enforcing continuous auditing. Together, these pillars guarantee secure CMS operations and protect against catastrophic data leaks.
To find related ebook and other material for this training course, go to quicktechie.com. Now you will see all the video courses are available here. So let's move to the ebooks. You can go here, ebooks. All AI related ebooks, like you are watching currently Mythos related training, that ebook would be uploaded under this section. You can download this ebook. PDF would be available, all 300-page PDF. So you just click on the download this entire ebook. You can download from this section. So whatever training you are currently listening, corresponding ebook would be available. We have thousands of ebooks available. Now, other than that, we have on video courses which you are watching right now. This also all AI related courses are available. Similarly, for all company related trainings are available, like Microsoft, you can find it here with their respective certification training modules. All exam simulators which would help you to get the certification preparation. Just refresh if you get this kind of error. Okay, so now you can see these are all certification preparation materials. Will also be click here to the NVIDIA certification preparation material. So you can see all NVIDIA certification preparation materials, and click on any of this and it would load the entire screen and you can launch the practice paper. So this is what you can see, that you can submit the answer. We have an audiobooks available. Okay, so for each section, and these are our alumni who can you can find out all alumni who are accessing our portal.